Hey there! It's me again, and I'm back with Super Mario Odyssey completed. So, as I teased very lightly in my Q&A video, that this was gonna be my next video. And so, yeah, here it is. This is gonna be the full review of Mario Odyssey, so it's gonna be quite long. I'm gonna be talking about the kingdoms, the gameplay, and more stuff this game has to offer. So, we have a lot of ground to cover here. Let's get into it. Alright, so in my initial thoughts video, basically I wrote entire paragraphs and put separate gameplay for each of the 3 kingdoms I talked about. But, doing that for 17 additional kingdoms, I'm not doing that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to keep the, gameplay segment that you're having now, and I'm just gonna talk about the kingdoms in 3 to 4 sentences. Anyways, let's begin. The Cap Kingdom was a pretty good introduction slash tutorial, but wasn't that good compared to the other kingdoms. The Brutal's debut was pretty good though, 4 out of 10. Cascade Kingdom. In my initial thoughts video, I did say that this was better than the Sand Kingdom. I was wrong. It's meh. 5 out of 10. Sand Kingdom. Being the longest in the game, it was pretty enjoyable, but I didn't like the filler. 6 out of 10. Lake Kingdom. Easiest moons in the game without a doubt. Besides that, it's okay, I guess. Wooded Kingdom. Always was and always will be better than the Lake Kingdom. 6 out of 10. It was pretty annoying though, some parts, especially the moons. Cloud Kingdom. Seriously though, why the hell did they put the finale in like halfway in between the game? And guess what? The fight wasn't even that good. 4 out of 10. Lost Kingdom. I loved how the bird took Cappy and you have to get him back. Other than that, it has pretty bad moons, but still enjoyable and detailed. 6 out of 10. Metro Kingdom. Best kingdom in the game. Like, no cap. Amazing design, creativity, and moons. That, and it's just a blast to play. 10 out of 10. Snow Kingdom. Really, really creative, but I dreaded the racing segment. It took me like 20 tries. Pretty good though. 6 out of 10. Seaside Kingdom. The Lake Kingdom done right. But if we're ignoring the other kingdom comparison, it was pretty short, but still really memorable and really fun. Luncheon Kingdom. Really creative and cool gimmicks in my opinion. Some parts were annoying though. Other than that, it was pretty tasty. 6 out of 10. Ruined Kingdom. Okay. Despite it being among the shortest kingdoms in the game, the detail and boss fight in it were absolutely amazing. Like, the Lord of Lightning is, despite being out of place, is the best fight in the game. Changed my mind. 9 out of 10. Bowser's Kingdom. Really creative and fun. The Brutal fight was pretty damn good as well. But it should have included the final Bowser fight, which they should have made original, and just scrapped the Moon Kingdom. But I'm going off track. Speaking of 9 out of 10. Speaking of the Moon Kingdom, this one might be a bit long. Moon Kingdom. Super annoying with the Bowser boss fight being directly ripped from the Cloud Kingdom with almost nothing original. The cavern was really annoying, and again, the Madame Brood, that fight was ripped straight from the Cascade Kingdom. Not to mention, the checkpoints were spread out to the point where it wasn't even funny. There was so much filler, and I didn't like it. I have to say, the escape scene was pretty good though. 3 out of 10. Wasn't enough to save it. So, basically all the kingdoms except for the Moon Kingdom and Cap Kingdom and Cloud Kingdom. They were all really good. Like, actually. And now let's talk about the controls of the game and some other stuff. So let's go ahead and get into that. Talk about the controls. The controls of the game were actually pretty good for the Switch. It worked great with Joy-Cons as well as having many movements, whether they involved Cappy or not. Like, seriously, the amount of movements you can have that don't even have Cappy in them is absolutely astonishing. The amount of Cappy combos you can do is also really great. Some of the jumps, especially while getting moons, were rather frustrating, but they were easy to conquer. However, you can really see the creative parkour in the moons. Most of the moons have really creative jumps that are really fun to do, and this is just what makes the moons so fun to get. The only complaint I can really give is that if you have a Pro Controller, it's not really gonna work for this game. I mean, it does work, but just not as good as Joy-Cons. But that's really it for the controls. And if you like the Pro Controller, then just put the Joy-Cons together. That's what I do. But anyways, yeah, that's really it for the controls. Now let's talk about the extra content. So since I did borrow the game, shout out to Despez for letting me borrow it, I can't judge the extra content too heavily. But from what I've seen, the extra content in this game is pretty cool. From returning to kingdoms for extra moons or other missions in the bonus kingdoms, they looked pretty cool. I even got a glimpse of the Mushroom Kingdom despite me not playing it. While I didn't play the extra kingdoms, it's really cool that you can continue the game after beating the main story, unlike in other games, like LEGO Marvel Superheroes, where all you can do is just go back to previous places and just collect coins and do other missions, not just play entirely new kingdoms. And this isn't included in the game, but it's pretty good for speedrunning, with some runs being really impressive for beating a whole game. Some people even doing it in under an hour. 20 kingdoms in under an hour. That is really quick. So that's really all I have to say about the game, so let's move on to the conclusion. In conclusion, this game is among my favorites. So again, it's not the best in comparison to other Mario games, but it was still really fun to play as well as having some super creative mechanics. But that would just be repeating what I said. Anyways, for the rating out of 100, in my full honest opinion, this game gets a 93 out of 100. It was really good, but it still had a few flaws. However, that doesn't stop me from recommending it to anyone who currently has a Switch. Trust me, the $60 is completely worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel to help support me. Till next time, everyone.